Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the Reddington virtual webinar session. Today's topic we have from Microfocus, Interset User and Entity Behavioral Analytics. And the topic will be delivered by Mohammad Sirajuddin, our pre-sales consultant from Reddington Value. In case you have any questions during the session, I would request you to please put in all your questions in the Q&A tab, and Siraj will be answering all of your questions at the end of the session. Siraj, over to you.
Thank you, Vindhya. Thank you. Team, good afternoon. Welcome to User and Entity Behavioral Analytics session. We commonly call this as UEBA. This is from Microfocus Interset. About me, my name is Mohammad Sirajuddin. I'm the lead consultant at Reddington Gulf. I'm managing the Microfocus security portfolio, including the ArcSight, including the SIM Solution ArcSight, Application Security Fortify, and NetIQ. We are now proceeding with the Interset solution, the UEBA Interset solution. Now, if we talk about a SOC, when we talk about UEBA, we are talking about something about SIM solution, something about SOC, something about a analyst. When we talk about a generic SOC solution, the very first thing comes to our mind is about people, process, and technology. We have analysts, they are using a technology which is in a processed organization, processed manner. So the analysts put a heavy amount of efforts and time tracking and hunting the threats in a SOC. In end of the day, I would say it in this way that the analysts become a janitor for all kind of alerts that gets into picture. They spend their entire time identifying what attacks are happening, how are they happening, working on the alerts that have received. They're spending most of the time doing that. In addition to that, our SOCs are facing some challenges where we have huge amount of data growing day by day. We get to see unknown threats coming inside, outside, from all aspects. At this point of time, we need to have something in place which can help our analysts go a step ahead. The analysis at the moment we are having is a human approach. We have to get into a machine learning approach where the analysis is happening. The activity done by the analysts has to be picked up by a machine learning to keep up the pace, to keep up the kind of attacks, to keep up the enormous amount of data that we are growing to. In addition to that, what do we expect from a solution that can perform the machine learning technology? We also expect that the information provided, the information or the analysis provided by our analysts is actually used and shared to the senior management. The same technology, when we are saying that a machine learning has to perform, so it is also expected from the machine learning tool to provide data which can be utilized by not only the security analysts and the SOC team members, but also by the CXO level team members to project the kind of risks that their organization is coming across with the senior management. If we look into three major reasons or three major challenges that the organization faces, I can sum it up saying that Interset or a UEBA solution is preferred by organizations who have something extremely important to be picked up, extremely important to be protected. Say, for example, they might have some intellectual property like a source code, like a banking application, the credit card data, can be any other critical data. They have something important to be protected. The second challenge that we can cater is the traditional analytics. We do have analytics in system, but it is not doing the enough job. It is not detecting it. It is not identifying the internal attacks. It is not scaling up to the huge growing demand of data. Or it can be a constant worry about data exfiltration or the unauthorized network access. Preferably, these are the common symptoms or common challenges which a government entity expects or faces in a day-to-day or in a day-to-day activity. These are some of the major challenges that organizations constantly fear. When we talk about Interset, which is a UEBA, majority of the time, some of us get confused that I do already have a SIM solution in place. Do I really need a UEBA? Can the functionality be taken over by a SIM solution itself? That's wrong. Let's have a look here to understand the difference and understand how Interset helps distinguish SIM solution and the Interset functionality here. The one that you see in the yellow is nothing but the SIM solution. When we talk about SIM solution, we all are aware that SIM solution works on a set of rules which is governed by a set of conditions, a set of aggregation value, and a set of action defined to it. Based on the rule and pattern defined, the SIM solution performs and identifies the activity. Here is where our analysts get into picture. They put their brain, they put their thought to identify this rule, to detect it. What is Interset going to do? Interset is going to take data, the one that is being shared within a SIM solution. Interset has the capability to utilize that data, or Interset can take data from additional sources, can be from an open data lake. There are multiple sources that Interset can pick up the data from, and it has a huge analytic engine which a big number of data models defined. Based on that, it identifies threats. It does the threat hunting and comes up with the exact information, the exact and identifies the exact insider threat. The Interset can give out this valuable information to the SIM solution, or can be integrated with RESTful APIs for further investigation. To understand Interset in a better way, we need to understand two different terminologies: the supervised machine learning and unsupervised machine learning. What is a supervised machine learning and what is an unsupervised machine learning? We are going through the supervised and unsupervised machine learning only to understand how an Interset, a UEBA solution like Interset, is different from a SIM solution, and what is the methodology, or what is the phenomenon that Interset adopts to identify internal threats. Let's first learn about what is a supervised machine learning. We see this gentleman. What kind of emotion is he displaying here? We might guess, yes, he is happy. How are we saying that he is happy? He is happy. We are looking at him, at his face expression, the different characters that he is exhibiting, the teeth that he is showing up, the chin is moved up, the eye is open, the forehead is increased. There are different characteristics that are exhibited. So we made a note of different characteristics, and we arrived at a point saying, yeah, this gentleman looks happy. Similarly, he looks sad and he looks angry. But before we conclude on anything like happy, sad, or angry, we have characterized their facial expressions with a set of characteristics, and have attached these characteristics to a specific activity, and then have labeled this person as happy, sad, or angry. Meaning that we have supervised machine learning where we have specific information characterized and attached to a specific behavior. With this, now we are in a position to identify different behaviors. because we know we have characteristic information available, we know the behavioral information, and we are attaching together and identifying what exactly is this. For example, if I comment on this particular case, I can, because I have identified one of it is one amongst the slide. And how are we identifying this? Based on the characteristics that we have, based on the information that we have, based on the information that we have observed. So supervised machine learning is all about having is all about information based on observation. This kind of information is useful to identify issues like malware identification, because to identify a malware we need to have a signature built in. So similarly, supervised machine learning is like having a specific signature. Based on the signature we are identifying the activities. A behavioral based signature, we are identifying the activities. What is unsupervised machine learning? We have the same example, unsupervised machine learning. In this example, we are not classifying he is happy, sad, or we are not saying he is angry. What we are differentiating, what we are identifying here is what is same and what is different in the what is different in the organization. What is same in all the three picks and what is different in all the three. So we are taking into account the activities which are same, the activities which are different. And then it depends upon the data scientist to develop a model. What does he want to do with the information that he has extracted? Say, for example, looking at this person, is he thinking about a malware? Is he looking for a malware? Can we guess that? Just looking at this person, he can be one of our employee. He can be an here. This is an example. He can be one of our employee, one of our colleague working along with us. He is looking somewhere. Is he looking for to exploit something, or it is normally looking at something, just like we do in a normal day-to-day life? This becomes a question mark. So the biggest question is, how do we differentiate between a malicious behavior and a normal behavior when it is in regards to an insider threat? We cannot conclude that this is a malicious activity that our colleague has done, or this is actually a normal day-to-day activity. Why we cannot conclude? We do not know. There is a lot of information which is missing. We need to understand the entire scenario. The scenario we call here it as context. We need to know, what did he do? Did the person log in at midnight? Did he attach something, or data exfiltration happened? Did he connect to different machines on a different port? Did he execute something which is not a normal kind of file? Does it have a different file extension? There are multiple level of information that has to be taken into picture. Only then we can consider and say, yes, the activity that we have seen by our employee is malicious or non-malicious. So the point to tell here is that we can differentiate between a malicious activity and a benign activity only by considering the context, the entire context. Not just by looking at the activity we can conclude it. No, we need to look at the overall context. In what circumstance, in what scenario did he do what, and then we can come out with a scenario. Yes, this is a malicious or this is a non-malicious. Here is the place where our analysts are putting our efforts. They get to see an alert which they have already configured, and our analysts then put all the efforts to identify and to collect the information surrounding the context. That was a manual activity. Now Interset is helping us achieve the same with a machine learning activity. This is called the unsupervised machine learning. With this, we have a fair idea of how Interset is utilizing unsupervised machine learning to detect and identify threats. Now let's go further and see how exactly is Interset doing this. How exactly is Interset utilizing the analytics? In a day-to-day life, we are aware that we have the security data available, which is most important and which is the de facto information that comes to our SOC solutions, like the one that we see here. So in a day-to-day basis, what do we do with this? We go ahead and we process this information with our rule-based solutions. This can be a SIM or anything. So what happens here is this information can be picked up by the SIM solutions or any other solutions or directly by the end solutions to Interset. Interset uses a very powerful algorithm, not a single algorithm, but there are 450 different models to identify the threats, and this information can be shared with multiple different solutions, like like a source solution for automation or orchestration purpose, for reporting purpose. It provides microservices available. We can utilize the microservices and the APIs for reporting purposes. It's an open kind of solution. To understand further the kind of value that we get with Interset is very swift. We have analytics engine defined for different types of data. We have analytics engine for endpoint. We have analytics engine for IAM, analytics engine for data repositories. So all these different analytics engine provides us extremely fast detection of threats, and it provides us very detailed information on the user behavior and keeping in mind the context. This is our traditional analytics that we are using currently in our organization, which is a rule-based mechanism identifying threats. This rule-based mechanism can be our SIM, or DLP, which is using a pattern matching technology or the rule-based technology to identify the threats. So what is Interset bringing in here? We bring in the analytics behavior. We utilize this data. We bring in the analytics behavior. We have more than 450 different malware models of data available, UML, unsupervised machine learnings. We identify what is unknown, what is not discovered by them. We identify that without the necessity of an analyst, without the necessity or intervention of analyst, all by itself. It identifies, detects what is malicious, what is non-malicious by considering the entire context. So what we get is we get a very confirmed, a solid information about insider threat. This is a purpose-built software. This is a purpose-built solution to scale, which is extremely scalable. It supports Hadoop and it supports big data. So and the math behind this, the technology, the algorithm behind this is very powerful and very target oriented. Let's try to understand Interset with an example now. See, for example, we have integrations with EDR. So we are talking about using Interset's EDR module, Interset's EDR analytics engine. And let's understand how can we benefit from a normal Interset information, which our EDR technology cannot detect, and Interset is detecting it. We receive the information from the EDRs. Say, for example, if there is a user who is logging into an application system and then accessing an application. So Interset, once it receives this login information from EDR, it identifies that this user who has logged in at this point of time is not the usual way he logs in. This is a different login that he has done. This is a suspicious login that he has done. It maintains a historical view of his previous login. It identifies, yeah, this is not a normal login that he has done, and it awards a risk score to it. Once an unusual activity is done, the user is seen accessing different file. On his system, a different extension has been accessed. So Interset is managing entities. What kind of services are running on the entity? What kind of file extensions running on entity? what is this what is the normal pattern of startup shutdown of an entity. Everything is recorded and managed. So once a user logs in at an unusual time and exit and initiates an unusual process, Interset detects this and awards a higher score, or increases the risk score, saying because it detected a unidentified behavior on this. Moving further, the user has communicated outside and sent a huge amount of data. Data exfiltration has happened here. The moment Interset identifies the data exfiltration, it increases the risk score to the high level. And the same user has been seen trying to collate more information from different sources. The risk score is increased with the critical level. This series of information can happen at once in a sequence, or can happen at a varied time length, not in a sequence, but can be a low and slow attack. Both of them are added, both of them are detected, and the behavior is recorded. This is how Interset can help us identify insider threats. Just to give you an additional information, Interset has a very well integration with CrowdStrike, and Interset has a cloud-based offering. If you have a CrowdStrike, if you have a EDR solution available, it can be any EDR, but CrowdStrike is the readily available the information that is striking my mind. If you have CrowdStrike and if you have, you can utilize our EDR, you can utilize Interset hosted on the cloud, and the integration takes less than 5 minutes. And with this less than 5 minutes, you will be able to establish the integration between your EDR and the Interset, and we get and Interset starts populating huge amount of starts working on the information provided by the EDR and provides you a very valuable information. Let's try to understand Interset with another example where we are involving multiple data sources. In the previous example, we utilized one data source. Here we are utilizing multiple data sources. So multiple data sources is coming in from the IAM, can be an Active Directory, can be a different kind of LDAP, or can be can be OIM or any other solution. So Interset uses its Interset data model, IAM data model. It receives information from data repository stores, different data stores. It also receives information from endpoint tools like the DLP, EDR, and many other solutions. There are three different models. There are three different analytic engines that are getting into picture to identify an insider threat. A user in this scenario, a user logs into the machine at an unusual working hours. So the IAM analytics engine identifies this behavior, verifies what exactly is, compares this behavior with the normal behavior, and identifies awards a risk score. The user is then seen not performing the normal day-to-day activity. It is performing some unusual activity, like he is trying to access different data sources which he has never done earlier. It increases the risk score. Now user is trying to collate information from different data stores to one single location, or trying to get more information from different machines. So the data repository analytics model identifies this behavior and increases the risk score of the user. The EDR analytics engine of Interset discovers that the machine on which the user has done an unsuspicious login, there is a unnoticed behavior seen on that. It's an unusual process that's running. So Interset increases the risk score. This is how Interset identifies the issues, insider threats, with proper evidence and context in mind. So what is the architecture and the various kind of deployments available with Interset? Interset is available both on cloud and on premise, and they support multi-tenancy. Interset supports multi-tenancy. So on premise, we need a physical server with the storage. The storage can be a direct SAN or can be a NAS attached storage. And we need the Hadoop infrastructure because we work on the data lake. We work on big amount of data. We need a Hadoop infrastructure available to us. So as a roadmap with Interset, we have more efficient threat hunting where our algorithms are being much more stronger. We are having integration with different case management tools, and our reporting is getting stronger. We have increased coverage with more use cases. We are now, our data scientists are increasing the data models, which is currently now at 450. We are working to add more models to it. And we are also working on a use case builder where custom use case can be developed. We have the cloud-based offering where you do not need to worry about the installation or the infrastructure. A cloud-based scenario, just get the subscription and you are going within a couple of minutes. And the ecosystem, and the eco-friendly nature of the Interset. It provides microservices where you can utilize from it, build your own, collect data from Interset, and then beautify the data, change its representation, or you can integrate with different APIs to take valuable information from Interset and use it with your SOAR technology or automation tools. Let's try to understand some use cases. What case studies do we have? This is just to better understand the UBA. The UBA, my understanding is that the UBA can be better understood with real-time examples. So I have added around 5 different examples here. We'll discuss them. We will see, rather than talking more on the architecture, the Hadoop architecture that it comes with, it's better to understand the use cases, the examples. This will give us a bigger idea on how Interset works and how it can add value to our existing SOCs. In one of the example, this was observed in one of the finance organization in the US. This was as early as in the year 2018. We had collected information from DLP and printer logs. So we identified an unusual activity from a user where he had logged in at an unusual time, and he was trying to print unusual amount of data on the printers. The employee had logged in, had come for 2 consecutive days in the office at 3 a.m. and he had printed a decent amount of files, which were more than 350 files. This activity was identified by Interset and was reported to the management. And the moment it was reported, the moment the analyst team looked at this information, they immediately initiated the investigation to identify why did this user come 2 consecutive days on a weekend at 3 a.m. and printed, and what did he print? The 350 different documents, 350 pages of different documents. What did he print? In another use case, this was from one of the security vendor. This was between the year 2017 and 2018. So we collected information from Active Directory. We identified unusual failed logins and unusual access. The user here was supposed to have access only to specific R&D labs, only to specific servers. But we noticed that the user had done multiple login failures at unusual time to access different other servers. And we identified this different other R&D servers. R&D servers are most critical. He was trying to log in at a different time, at an unusual time, and access the servers to which he did not have access. And the biggest thing is the user did not use his account. The user used a guest account. though he was successfully able to log into 24, tried accessing multiple servers, but he was able to access 4 servers using the guest. But this was detected within 24 hours, which Interset had deployed. Within deployment, within 24 hours of Interset deployment, Interset detected this activity, and there was a investigation carried out as why was this happened. The guest account access was removed on those servers. Another example was from a sources or software organization where they had placed more than $1 million security vendor to support to protect their source code. So what happened here is uh, some of the users in the organization were trying to steal the source code of the company, source code of their product. This activity was identified by Interset. 2 engineers, they had logged into 2 different sources at unusual time, and they were accessing unusual projects. A user specifically you access as I said, Interset has a unsupervised machine learning algorithm. Interset identified a specific user. These specific users were having access to specific projects, but they logged in at an unusual time, and they were trying to access projects to which they do not have access to, which they were not accessing on a usual timeline, and they had done the checkout of those source code. So this activity was identified by 2 engineers. Later on, the activity was again found out in some other parts of America, and some of their employees in China were also accessing that. So Interset immediately identified this behavior the moment it was placed in, and then within a short duration of time, it identified the behavior, and it highlighted that the internal employees are performing these activities. This is an extremely high. We can consider that this is a criminal kind of activity. Another example, Interset, an employee usually sends a specific amount of emails in an organization. So Interset monitors each of the user profile and keeps a track record of how many emails has he sent, how many bytes was that. It keeps a profile. So on an average, the highest amount of information that was noticed was by the HR team, a specific HR email address, which usually sends more than 600 MB of data in a day. So this was a normal activity because HR has to communicate to each of the employees. So high number of email data, being sent by the HR was a normal activity. At one point of time, a specific user had sent 960 GB of data using huge number of using emails. So this was tracked down. This was identified and highlighted by Interset. Because Interset keeps a track of all this information, it identified this behavior and it alerted the team. A last example, Interset monitors the entities as well. One of the end user machine was seen unusual login at an unusual time, and this machine has accessed something on an unusual port which was never seen in the organization. Interset, as part of its data model, keep a track of different port numbers that are being accessed. So at an unusual point of time, someone logs into a machine and accesses and makes a network connectivity on a port which was never seen in the organization. This usually is not a normal activity. So machine learning, the unsupervised machine learning, the AI identified this activity, and it collated all different information supporting the context. The risk score was eventually increased for this particular host machine. If we speak on use cases, we will continuously speak with different organization, different sector having different use cases. We continuously speak on them. But with the couple of use cases, with the couple of examples that I have exhibited and highlighted here, I believe you now have got a fair understanding of how a UEBA works and what value add can a UEBA bring to the organization. So I would like to conclude my session here by highlighting some specifics about Interset. That Interset is 100% unsupervised machine learning. It uses UML technologies. It has more than 450 algorithms currently running and supporting 13 different data types. In one of its release in near future, it's a near future. It's not yet released as when is it going to be. The timeline is not yet released, but we can see that Interset will utilize the ArcSight connectors. Interset, you will utilize ArcSight connectors and will receive information directly from them to enrich the data. So Interset is a 5-year-old organization in the market, which was a part of INQ, IQT portfolio. IQT was the parent organization. And last year, Micro Focus acquired Interset, and now Interset is an Micro Focus product. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Please write your questions, whatever you have. I'll be able to answer them now. Okay. Thank you very much for joining in. Bindya, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Siraj.
Yes, please. I've answered the questions, and now it's over to you.
That's great. Thanks again, Siraj, for a very interactive session, and thanks for answering all the questions and running us through the entire session. Thank you all the attendees for making time and attending the session. We'll also share a recording of the webinar with you guys, so you can always go back and refer to. And also, you can write back to us anytime if you have any queries with respect to Micro Focus, and myself and Siraj will always be there to guide you guys to the right people and answer all of your questions. Thanks again, and I hope all of you have a great day ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Bindya. Bye-bye.